Hi, I'm Pam. Welcome to week 5 of our series of 8 wellbeing sessions. Now, if you've missed any of them, please go on to the Active Communities website and check out their YouTube channel. So this session, we're looking at actually getting out of lockdown and what that means for us emotionally and psychologically. And I hope you found the last few sessions to be useful and helpful. And within these sessions, what we've tried to do is help you become your own little detective and really own your life, and really trying to help identify what works for you, what are some of your triggers, understanding how you feel emotionally and how that affects us and how we react to it. And what we've tried to do is look at anxiety, we've looked at stress, we've looked at ways of coping with stress and anxiety and some of the techniques that you can use. We've also looked at how we can support our children and young people throughout lockdown. So this session is all about getting ready for life after lockdown. I suppose it's a combination of some of the things that we've already looked at, and maybe just a chance to acknowledge that this is going to be a bit strange. So firstly, let's think about kids getting back to school. And school's going to look very different. So it'll be important to prepare and support our children through this so that they don't worry as much. Face coverings are now recommended for indoor use, public transport. They can look a wee bit scary to a little child. So how about developing your family's own style with socks? You know, you can buy a range of socks, even decorate them and make your own face coverings. Again, something that helps normalize this for kids. So what can we do to prepare the whole family for coming out of lockdown? Well, one of the key things to do is to discuss our fears and our worries. You know, coming out of lockdown is going to affect every one of us in a family in different ways. And the first thing to do is to recognize that everyone will feel differently, and that's okay. Sit down, think about it, and as we're coming out of lockdown and we're able to do more things, what's that going to look like? So we're going to be able to go back to school, buy clothes, go shopping more often, maybe eating out at some point, going to the cinema. Think about any worries that each of these areas might have. One thing that can help is to draw a bubble diagram, and it can really help people think about what each of their worries might be. So for example, little kids going back to school, you know, some of their fears might be, is the actual space safe enough? Am I going to be able to interact with my friends? How's that going to look? You know, what's their friendships going to be like when they're able to meet again? They've only ever been able to do this online for a long time. What about falling behind? Are they worried about that? And finally, are they going to fit back into that whole life in school? And sometimes just mapping out what your worries and fear are helps everybody in the family to know where you are. For the adults, think about, what are your worries? This isn't just about the kids. And in fact, sharing your worries can also help normalize this so that your children don't feel that they've developed some kind of anxiety disorder. This is going to be strange for all of us, and it's okay for it to be strange. Get a plan together. You know, try sitting down as a family and just talking about, what do you think will be needed? What's the biggest challenge when we're getting back to normal? What are the jobs that will need to be done? You know, think about your household needs. You know, who's the best person coming out of lockdown to do this? Talk about concerns, expectations about going back to normal, just so that you can put in place things that can prepare everybody. Don't forget you've got your soothing box as a family that you can always rely on. But it's about being open and honest. And it's really important for parents to listen and to empathize with their children's worries. Try and see it from their point of view. Talk to them openly and honestly, but use language that's age appropriate, that they'll understand. Have a conversation for facts and feelings. The main thing here is to acknowledge that all of the members of the family will have worries of some kind. Listening to them and helping them to not be scared is really important. There are many things that we can do that will help our worries and help us get a sense of control. So, personal hygiene, washing your hands, keeping a sanitizer, all help, as we know, fight the virus. For adults too, keeping a sense of perspective and sourcing information and advice from credible sources can help you deal with your own anxiety about coming out of lockdown. Be positive about the future. You know, this has been the scariest time for all of us since the end of World War II. Everyone has been affected by coronavirus, and it can be a really difficult transition in getting things back to normal. We've spent the last few months in the house, not being able to see our friends and family, not being able to hug each other. And we've had to keep our distance, and just, if you can, just keep talking and listening to each other and acknowledging these worries. Now, I really hope you've enjoyed this series of Wellbeing Chats. And as I say, if you've missed any of them, please check out the Active Communities YouTube site, subscribe, and you'll get access to them all. Hopefully things will get back to normal as soon as they can. Until then, keep safe, look after one another, keep talking, and more importantly, keep listening to each other. Take care. Bye.